We landed at Times Square like we belonged, like we've always been there and we were always meant to be there. Big screens. I never seen such big screens in my life. And so many people. I think Times Square is the most populated tourist attraction in this world. I don't even know what's there. I was just seeing screens and people walking, sitting, and doing all sorts of things. And someone, I didn't know where we were actually at that time. I had no experience. I'd booked this trip to New York without knowing anything about New York really. I had only heard a story from one of my professors, and he was saying New York is the best place he had ever been to in this world. And it was the happiest trip of his life that he has ever made. So I was feeling low and depressed and lonely. So many bad feelings. So I was like, how do I motivate myself? New York, let me experience New York for the first time. So he landed at Times Square and someone tells me this is Times Square. Like, this is Times Square. So I'm like, oh, this is the famous Times Square. Now I start looking more keenly. Everything starts making sense now. Everything starts seeming magical for a reason that I didn't understand because I had no specific attachment to Times Square or anything like that. Then I spotted a group of people, a peculiar group of people. There were three women, three white women, and the women were being painted at that time. They were fully naked in the middle of the streets. Everyone was walking by them like it's a normal thing. And they were being painted in the American flag colors in the entire body. And then some men would stop there and you pose with the women, take a photo, and I think pay $5 or $10 per photo. And it's a booming business there. I saw people selling tour bus tickets. I saw people dressed in famous Disney characters. Someone else was dressed as a statue. Doing so many different things. That reminded me of something similar. Huh? That's Nairobi. It reminded me of Nairobi for some reason. Yeah, so many people just walking in every direction, and no one cares or gives one shit about you. They were and they were there brushing people's shoulders like it didn't seem civilized at all. That's at least that was my first perspective of the city. It didn't seem like the kind of city I'd pictured in mind. I walked in an alley. I don't know what I was doing in that alley, but I looked at the ground. I was like, it doesn't seem like anyone sweeps these streets. Not to shame New York as a whole, but that's just one of the streets I walked in. I was like, someone seems not to care about this street so much. There are not so many businesses there or people in that street, but yeah, it looked like it had been abandoned as such. And then we went further. We went and walked on the Brooklyn Bridge. I think it's next to the Hudson River. Now I'm just saying names. I didn't even know what those were or what significance they were, but I knew I was walking on a famous bridge and crossing a famous river. And it was great. Took photos there and was happy. Then we headed to some restaurants there. Apparently, that's famous too. Went to Wall Street, and I didn't know what the importance of Wall Street is. Sixth Avenue. No, the importance of that I didn't know. Then we were on a tour bus at that time. When the tour bus took us on, I think it's a ferry. I don't remember very well. And it was to see the Statue of Liberty. So I had seen the Statue of Liberty before. I didn't know the significance of it. I still don't know to this day. But we went to the Statue of Liberty, and I was surprised because it looks very small in the images I had seen. I was surprised to see it's like a 3 or 4 story building. It's very tall and it's very far away. I tried to take a photo next to it. I thought I could take a photo next to it like I take a photo next to any other statue. But no, this was a whole building with stairs inside that you can ride to the top. If I take a photo of the whole of it, I look so small in that photo. So that was a surprise, and I was like, okay, let me take this photo. I didn't know who I was going to show the photo to because I have no emotional sentiments toward it. And we're taken to an island. I think it was Ellis Island or something like that. A history of America and how people used to get to New York using that island, and so many shenanigans. I don't know. So at that passed. I think we went to. I think it's called Bryant Park. It's a famous park apparently there. Sat there for a while. People were just sitting there doing nothing. Apparently, people like to do that, and yeah, it's okay. Just sit down and do nothing the whole day. I'm not judging them. I don't know their life or anything like that. So I stayed there for a while. I took a while walking. I had my iPad with me, so I was taking photos and everything. Photos of cars. The New York taxis are very famous. The color of them, and I mean famous from what I've seen on social media. I have no emotional connection, but I was just taking photos. I was not appreciating anything at all. I was, I think I was, I was displaying second hand appreciation for these things, like appreciation for these things in other people's eyes other than my own eyes. In my own eyes, they were just things, but I knew they meant a lot to some people. So next, I headed to Central Park. I headed to Central Park, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing to see so many trees in the middle of such a big city. And there are so many seats, people seated down. There are some people riding bikes. So many things, and there was really nothing. There were no animals or anything to see like that. It was just a park where people rested and did some things. Then I headed to the 9/11 memorial at that time. At that time, I didn't even know much about 9/11, and so I heard this is where 9/11 happened. Obviously, I think a lot of people, or most people, would say no 9/11, even if it's just the name of it. So I did. I saw the buildings. They had created a monument with the names of people and all that. I took some photos. Overall, I was just going around taking photos for no good reason, just for the heck of it. I was walking through the streets. They were nice and paved and everything. I went into the subway at some point, and I was surprised. Not very neat looking, I would say. It seems like it's been operating for the last 100 years or so, which I might be right. I think it's been operating for that long. The building looked worn out, but I went into Grand Central. Apparently, that's another famous place around there. It looked a bit like a carving of some sort. It looked like an ancient building, I would say, and I saw a lot of ancient buildings. Building like that look very very old and like were built in the 18th century or something like that. I know it's an old city. There might be true. What surprised me the most are the streets. Apparently, you're on First Avenue, then you go to Second Avenue, you go to Third, Fourth, Fifth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, 10th Avenue. Then they're also divided into streets. First Street, Second Street, 31st Street, 42nd Street. So like, what kind of naming is it? I mean, it sounds simple, I would say, and easy to remember, but they could have been more creative with the names. I think the only creative one I found was I think it was Sixth Avenue. It's called Avenue of the Americas or something like that. I don't know why, but apparently America only associates with that street. So I was walking through the street, and apparently they are straight. They are all straight. They look like the person who planned that street was thinking very carefully. Like the buildings are just designed in such a way that the streets are very straight. They look like boxes. You can look at the map of the city in Google Maps. You will see they are perfect square boxes or rectangles or anything like that. Then the tour bus was guiding us through all these areas. That's how I was discovering all these things and talking to the other people who were on a tour. I met a very nice Indian couple at that time, and they wanted to hang out with me. We had a bus full of tourists, like 40 people. But this couple wanted to hang out with me. One was doing a PhD in biology. The girlfriend, I guess, and the boyfriend was doing nuclear physics or something like that. They were quite a smart couple. They were dark skinned like me, so I guess they felt a bit comfortable with me. They wanted to buy me food, buy me a shirt, and all that. Yeah, nice couple overall. And then I got some souvenirs. I think I got a New York shirt at that time, and it's authentic now. It's not just an NY from some market somewhere. I got it from the source at that time. Very excited about the souvenirs. I remember I bought a mirror, a makeup mirror or something like that, which I brought to my mom. I think she still has it to this day. I don't know. Then there's a very small Coca-Cola bottle that I think is a signature of the place. I don't know. I bought that one too. I bought some shirts. I bought a few things here and there just to remember my trip there. Then we headed over to climb this building. Uh, it's one of the most famous, I guess, in this area. It's called the Empire State Building. Obviously, I have no connection to it. I have no sentimental value that I attach to it. But I said it's a famous building. I'm going in. I want the experience. So we climb up. We climb up, and the elevator we pay. I think it was $55. Go in, climb to the top, the very top there. Then I see a mirror, and from there I can see the entire area, then the entire streets, all the street, all the buildings. Like I'm quite high up. It's not the tallest one, but it's quite up there in terms of how tall it is. There's a mirror that I was looking through. You could climb into a higher place and get a better view, but there's so many tourists walking around taking photos, and I was also taking photos. And it was a beautiful skyline at that time. I must admit, it was in the evening, the sun was setting, and I got some really good pictures. And yeah, later on, yeah, I got out. Later on, I think, yeah. Later on, I went and walked down street. I wanted to see. I think, did you go to Long Island? I don't remember whether we went to Long Island at that time, but I think it was one of the places where we were supposed to visit. Then I remember walking down Manhattan at that time, and then there was a Trump Tower at that time. So yeah, Trump was just vying for president at that time, for the first time. So he was the talk of the news everywhere, and there's lots of controversies and everything. So I was surprised to find a tower like that. I got in, and it's painted in golden colors. I'm sure it's not gold, but it was yellowish in color and everything. There was a water fountain, just beautiful. I thought it was this building. Apparently, here it's a franchise, where they're just people who use his name to market their buildings and all that. There is another one in Toronto too, with the same name and different structure at that time. So I was walking there. I took a photo. I remember I asked someone to take a photo of me of the building. I remember doing some Photoshop on it and adding Trump on it and posting it on Facebook. I think my mother thought it was real, congratulated me for it. I didn't know how to tell her it's Photoshop at that time. She knows nothing about Photoshop. But yeah, it was an exciting trip at that. And in the evening, the evening looks even more beautiful because the two of us would drop us off in the morning. Um, the hotel I was living in was in Newark, in New Jersey at that time. So the two of us would pick us up in the morning at around 8 a.m., drop us at Brant Park, and then would pick us up in the evening. So we would congregate there in the evening and board the bus back to the hotel. So the evening it looks so beautiful. I've seen so many photos online on Instagram, especially on the nightlife, and I wished I could experience it. Maybe go to some clubs or something like that, because it looked like it'd be a blast or something similar. But I had to go back. I didn't know my way back, and I might be lost if I didn't follow the bus. I think I spent a total of three or 4 days there. In the later year, I went. We visited with a friend. That a couple years later, we went back with a couple friends, and we went into Columbia University. There was a friend of a friend there who invited us, and yeah, had a nice time. So that was my experience there, and I went through a lot of places in such a short time. I think I remember also passing through the place where the small cafe where Friends was active. That was a big thing. And I remember I think I saw Good Morning America having a live show, something of that sort. Yeah, something of that sort. I don't remember very well. It's been quite some time. But yeah, that was it. Took so many photos. There are so many I think picturesque places in that area. So many memories. I have deleted all of them. I think there was a time I was going through a period in my life when I felt like my past was haunting me. Like everything I'd ever done was haunting me. It was like I need to delete myself. I wanted to delete my brain at first. I remember Googling that. Then I wanted to delete myself physically. And then I decided I just delete my memories. Some memories were painful. And painful memories are something hard to deal with. It gives you depression, gives you stress. It might make you go mental. So deleting all the memories, I deleted all the photos and pictures. I don't have any of them right now. They're just distant memories in my brain. They're experiences that I have stored in my brain, but I have no physical evidence of it. Yeah, that was my experience. Thank you.